Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We always kind of make our videos to look like they are in the perfection stage, but we have lives. We have kids, grandkids, we have pets, we have all of these different things and these elements that make our yard messy. Just like our house, we have to clean our house, on a regular basis, or else it would become crazy, right? So in this video, I'm going to take you along with just regular weekly tasks that I have to do to get the yard back up to par. So it is about cleaning pergolas, cleaning the tables off, picking up all of the baby toys, and just getting things put away. This is something that, it kind of goes at the back of your mind, but, all of us have mess, and it's just a matter of trying to get it all clean. I'm also going to show how I handle weeds and the way that I organize it and prioritize. That way I can make the most of the time that I have. The first thing that you see when you walk out our back door is a flat of flowers. Of course, I got these this week, and I'm pretty excited to get some of them in the ground and get some in other containers for sale, because I have a plant sale coming next week. So, I've also been preparing for that. So when you kind of run out of time when you're working on a whole bunch of projects at the same time. So I just want to kind of take you along with how things are looking. So boxes, I get different flowers in. I have plenty of stuff to clean up. If we pan over to this area here, okay, we all have these areas, right, where I'm just like, I don't have a garbage bag, so I just throw it in a pot. My grandson likes to play with this little lantern. It's like off its rocker right now, and I'm really trying to get this area, this bench area where it has the little makeshift sink. I'm getting rid of that and all of the stuff that is in this area. So one affliction that we have here is that we don't have any drip irrigation or sprinkler system. So in many of my videos, you will see the hose strung out, because if it doesn't rain, I've got to water. So that is the reason why you're going to see those. But, this is the unglamorous part of gardening, is that what gets dirty must be cleaned. I also have to clean the gazebo. So this becomes the area where we all congregate. My grandson likes to do his bubbles here and chalk. So it also becomes a very congested area when I can't get to it. So I'm going to be cleaning that as well today. And we've all been there. We ran out of daylight. We haven't been able to get to the rest of the project that we were working on. And I did some trimming of some of the trees. I did the maple tree over there and kind of limbed it up a little bit. And then I also limbed up some of the dogwood. Now I still have a little bit more limbing to do, but the pile sits there. I ran out of daylight and wasn't able to get to it. So those are some of the projects that I'm going to be working on today. I also have to fill up hummingbird feeders. That is something that I do every weekend, is refill, because they are loving this new hummingbird structure that we built a few weeks ago. And they are just absolutely loving it. I can't even keep enough of the juice in there for them to make it a whole week. But we do have another hummingbird feeder over in the courtyard area, and the courtyard is still full, so they still have access to some of the juice. It's about half full, but I will replace it all at the same time. Now these hummingbird feeders have a water reservoir up here at the top. So if you fill that up, that will prevent ants from being able to come down into the hummingbird feeder and drink. So I do this on all 3 of my feeders. There. Now the hummingbird feeders are all done for today. It is really starting to rain now. Of course, this would happen when I don't have a lot of time to get the gardens done and daily chores. But I am still going to continue to keep working. I'm going to go under the covered patio, our gazebo. That is where I've started because of the rain. So hopefully by the time I'm done cleaning it, I'll be able to move on to another area. Our dining room table under the gazebo is fairly clean. I've wiped it off multiple times. It did get a little bit of dirt on the placemats. I just use these like waterproof outdoor placemats and they work really great. But I am going to go and pull them all off and wash them manually. So I'm just going to hand wash them in the sink with some soapy water and get them back to looking beautiful again. Sometimes I will also leave plants on the gazebo area if it is too hot, bright, sunny, and I can't get to watering them in time. So I kind of give them a little bit of protection under here until I can plant them. Usually this is the stepping point of planting. So it reminds me, hey, I've got some stuff to plant. I got to get some containers done, and leaving them here reminds me that they need to go into the ground. And as you can see, I have a lot of containers. Now I keep all my containers because I do a lot of plant sales, and this just happens to be easier and free to be able to grab all of these containers. So you can see I have additional containers sprinkled throughout this little potting station grill area. Just miscellaneous stuff that just needs to go in the house. These butterflies I am going to hang up on the pool fence, but for now I'm just going to put it in the house. Windy days, always take the pillows down. Well, it is still raining. As you can see, the concrete is wet. I was able to get the gazebo clean. I'm not going to sweep. There's no point in doing it today because of the rain. But everything is looking really good. It only took about 20 minutes to clean the whole gazebo. Another thing that I do every single weekend is I treat the pond water with a barley straw extract. This is safe for birds and frogs and whatever decides to come in to the pond, but this also keeps it clear and keeps it to where it's maintained. I don't have a lot of growth. I mean, you can see that there is some discoloration of the water a little bit, but it's mostly from the rocks. The rocks are really causing that. And the fact that you can see the bottom and it's clear means that it is doing what it's supposed to. So I just take about 5 squirts and I just put it inside the stream and it just disperses it all the way through the pond area. Now you can also see that our liner is showing that it's a little bit low. With the rain, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll fill it tomorrow and just top it off. But this area is going to see some changes as well. We're going to be doing a pond expansion. It's going to be a much bigger pond area. I don't know if that is something that we'll get to this year. It might be a 2026 project. Since I really can't do much other projects in the rain, I'm going to take you around on my weed technique. So, you know, we all have weeds, and the more garden beds that you have, the more weeding you have. So to try to make things as easy as possible, here are some tips. I do recommend is not using landscape fabric. The stuff that they sell at the garden center is not a thick type of landscape fabric. Things are going to grow right through it. And then you're going to have a bigger mess than you originally wanted because you're not going to be able to stop it. And now the roots are underneath the landscape fabric and it's very hard to get rid of and handle at that point. So do not use landscape fabric, use cardboard. Now I do use landscape fabric in certain ways. I use the Pro, and that is very thick. I use that in our veggie garden so weeds do not come up, and I also under our pathways. So our gravel pathway that is in Garden Avenue is what we have some landscape fabric under. But you have to use the professional, very thick with the fuzzy side down, that kind. We use the DeWitt Pro, and that stuff works great. On Mondays is when I spend the time to weed the front yard. So this is our front yard. We've got a few flower beds here. So we've got one coming up the sidewalk. We've got the one around the locust tree. We have one up against the house, which is our shade garden. We are in this is a southern exposure. However, the locust tree really shades it out. We've got the long east border against the retaining wall. And then we have the front yard island, okay? And this is a work in progress. We have been working on this since last summer. We made the island, and my husband is going to make a faux rock structure that has our house numbers on it in the front, so you can easily find our house. So that is in progress, but again, that is another project that he has to get to. So on Mondays, I come out and I weed all of these flower beds. Now, something that does make it easier, there's a couple tips here. One is plant things that are going to touch each other, because the weeds can't grow as quickly or as much if you have stuff that kind of crowds it all out. So as your plants become established, they kind of take over and you have less weeding. So I only spend maybe 5 minutes in this bed total, because really the only things that I have to deal with are in front of this rock here, some of the grass that's creeped in, and a couple weeds here. But ultimately, like towards the back of the flower bed, I don't have to weed it at all. There is no weeds to deal with. So planting things really close together does help. The second thing is if you have the time and patience, put cardboard down when you're building a new garden. I took the time and laid out this garden here, and I put cardboard under everything. It has been a lifesaver. This garden bed is 2 years old. We built it in October of 2022, so it's like 2.5 years old. And the wonderful part about it is that I only have to come and do some surface weeds. Yeah, like right here, I've got a little piece of grass growing, and then I have a couple little stragglers. But if you look, I really don't have that many weeds to take care of, because on a weekly basis, there isn't a lot that can grow in 1 week. And also with the cardboard, it really does help to suppress them. So only the seeds that come from the top are growing upward. You're not having to worry about the underneath the dirt layer, them coming up. And that really does help. And I know sometimes it can be tempting to go in there and weed, a garden bed that is scheduled for a Monday on another day. Hold off. Don't do it. Just stick to your zones. Make up your zones how you want to do it, and then it's going to make it a lot easier. I know it's going to be tempting to pull that weed when you walk by it, but just leave it. I promise you that if you keep your routine up, you won't have the overwhelming feeling to go and stop and pull that. So that weed right there, the grass, is going to get pulled on Monday. Okay. Now, if you run into a rainy day, like you're not able to get out because of weather for whatever reason, then just incorporate it and absorb it into the part of the week. So if it rains on a Monday, you could do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday be your weeding days, and then add Saturday as your last weeding day. That makes it a lot easier. And if you weed at the same time, you could also come in and deadhead things that you want to. So I couldn't deadhead this last Monday because it was still looking really beautiful. In fact, one of the peonies is still back there. It's trying to hold on for dear life, but the life of peonies doesn't last very long. So this Monday, not only will I hit the weeds, but I'll also cut back all of the peonies, the remaining irises that need to be cut back. I'll cut back the Brunnera stems that had the flowers that have since been spent, and just make it look much cleaner. Now, on Tuesdays is when I start working on the East Garden. Now, this one is also a little bit on the newer side. At least this side over here is the newer side. It was also built around the same time as the front garden. And so I am also in a habit of going in and cleaning out all the weeds. Another thing that I'll do is come out here on a regular basis and fill up the mountain. Now, these areas are a little bit more established as well. I mean, there's still grass that kind of grows in here, and I'm reworking this front area here. I had a hosta in there, but I relocated it. So now it's kind of become a jumble of weeds. I got to go in there and clean it. I got a hellebore that self-seeded itself. So I really want to get something in there, but I just don't know what I want to put in there yet. So everything is looking really good. On Tuesdays as well, so I do the East Fountain area, East Garden area, and I do half of the Garden Avenue. So as you can see, Garden Avenue is very big. It's 145 feet long by 7 foot wide. It's got 2 flower beds on the left side of the pathway, and so there's a lot to do here. So I will only weed this area on Tuesdays up to the trellis here, so up to the Zephyrine Druin roses. I will do this. So this is a Tuesday project. Wednesday is this area here, the rest of Garden Avenue, and around the putting green. I also will hit the courtyard if we have any weeds in there. And oh my goodness, the Zephyrine Druin thornless roses, they are so beautiful and they smell so good, and I love the way they look with rain just sprinkled all over them. On Thursday, I come and weed out this other flower bed and the back border. And as you can see, we're still working on the back border, putting mulch down. We've had the cardboard down, and that really suppresses a lot of the weeds, but I mean, there's still weeds that we have to take care of. So I'll be working on that on Thursday. I also, any weeds that are back here, like around the stock tanks, I will also take care of any of those weeds. But our lawn guys will come around and they will edge around the stock tanks, and they'll do the edging around the rocks here. So, you know, I don't focus too hard on the weeds in the grass. However, I do spray them. So I just sprayed some chemicals here, like an organic dead weed brew type organic from Captain Jack's. I sprayed it in here, and it did touch some of them, but it's not really touching a whole bunch, so I need to come out here and reapply. But we've had so much rain that makes it really hard for that weed killer to actually work. Now, lastly, on Fridays, I will come over into the veggie garden area and weed. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to come in and weed yesterday, so I'm going to have to incorporate that probably into my tomorrow agenda. It's going to be nicer tomorrow, and after the rain that we are having overnight this last night and some of the rain that we're dealing with this morning, it's going to make it a lot easier to pull these weeds. So that is another tip: pull weeds after it's rained. And if you aren't expecting rain and you still need to pull, then take your hose and hose down the area, because it's going to help you pull those weeds so much easier. And lastly, when I'm also working on the veggie garden area weeds, I'm also working on the fern area. I'm also making sure that there's no weeds growing in cracks of the sidewalk. I'm just really taking care of that, and making sure that it is all taken care of. And one of the last tips that I have for you is to write things down. I don't know how many times I have had a full agenda. Like, there are so many things I want to get done in a day, and I forget on, you know, what I wanted to do by the time I get there. I'm like, what did I want to do? And writing it down and marking it off is the best way that I can tackle the things that I need to do, because I get it in my mind. I look at the list in the morning and I say, okay, here's the first 3 things I'm going to do. And I go and I get it done, and then you mark it off, and then you feel so accomplished because you've got some of your garden stuff done for that day. Even if something derails your plans for the day. So for example, it happens to me a lot. The weekends are also my time to spend with my family if I haven't been able to spend any time with them during the week. Now, I spend a lot of time with my grandson. He comes over here a few times a week at least, and so I get quality time with him, but I don't really get quality time with my children because my kids are also working full-time like I am. So they would like to have some of my attention as well on the weekends. So I have to, sometimes I just get derailed. I am not able to do all the projects that I had been set to do for that day. And it's okay. If you don't get your chores done, it is okay, because nobody is going to say, your kids aren't going to say, and your family's not going to say, oh, I wish mom had gardened more. They're going to say, I wish I had more time with my mom. So my philosophy is that if I can't get to it, it's okay. I'm going to be able to get to it at another time. I will do it on a night that I don't have any plans with them. So don't feel like you have to get everything done on your list on that day. Pace yourself. Give yourself time. Don't feel like you have to get everything done. And, you know, it's okay. Also, on every Saturday, I come in and I pick up all the toys and reorganize them. So when my grandson comes over fresh on the weekday, he has got a nice clean space that is all ready for him to start playing again. He loves to clean his table, his water table, so that's why he has a sponge and a brush. And he likes to also clean his kiddie pool. I know, this kid, he loves to clean. I'm not doing a perfect job on his area here, just because my time is definitely limited because of the weather today. And I have so many other things to get done, especially that we've had a few days of rain this week, and it has caused me to be a little bit behind on my garden chores. It has stopped raining enough for me to do a little bit more cleanup, and then I'm going to have to call it a day. My kids just texted and said they want me to spend some time with them this afternoon, so I'm going to jump on that chance and take that opportunity to be with my kids. I filled this up with the garden debris that I had under the gazebo, so I can just dump it in the yard waste can. And then I have the other box. The other box I'm going to take back to our area, that the tree border, because we are still trying to layer up boxes so we can get them mulched down. And before we use any of these boxes, we take the tape off. It does not biodegrade. It's not good for the ground. So we just peel all of this off as we break it down and put it into the tree border. As you can see, we've got a lot of layers of it. But there are some areas that could use some, like right here. You can see all of the mulberries falling from the trees are coming down in this area. I think that's the reason why we get so many trees in this area. We have bindweed everywhere, in pots everywhere. It is insane how much bindweed we have. I dread it. I also have to be really careful, stick my hands in here, because spiders will live in here and I do not want to get bit or having them crawling on me. don't know why this 50-pound dumbbell is here. Not easy. Whew. As you can see, the ferns grow up underneath here. They love the shade. So they just grow. And now that I've got this area kind of clear, I am going to be doing a makeover, which is coming up very soon, where I'm going to make over this whole deck. New furniture, and maybe a new setup, some new cushions. I'm really excited because I have been wanting to do this for quite some time, to kind of like dress up the corner that has the desk in it. It used to be in my old potting station, but I don't really use it anymore. So I'm so excited to get rid of it. And this is the area that I'm talking about. I want to try to get rid of all of this and make it to where it has a nice place for furniture. And that's going to wrap up today's video. I'm glad that we got the gazebo all clean and we got most of this patio done. I mean, we still have some makeover stuff coming in the near future. So I'm really excited to share that with you when I get new furniture and new decor all around. I'm pretty excited for that. And then we're also going to be taking you along on a couple other projects with the play area. We've got the area that we need to level out and plant grass there. We still have to complete the greenhouse. We've got that project. We are going to maybe do the pond expansion or the kitchen. I don't know which one's going to come first, but that is definitely a project that we are looking for 2025. So it's going to be one or the other. And just planting and maintaining. And I think, also, I think we're going to be getting a couple trees here pretty soon. So we've got a lot coming and I just can't wait to continue to take you along with me. So thank you, everybody, and we will see you next time. Have a great garden day.